Sadia, what do we talk about in this episode?
Okay, we will be talking about my experiences in Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
How did I land up in Taiwan?
Yeah.
How did my journey begin for Taiwan? And how am I presently doing as a PhD student in Taiwan in Chongqing? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, listeners, let's get started. Welcome to Chai with Ping. This is Ping Robert. In this podcast, I cover underrepresented and personal stories. Join me with a cup of chai and take a listen. Started.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Welcome back to Chai with Ping. My name is Ping Robert. Today I have an Indian student studying Taiwan with me, and she's currently doing her PhD at National Chung Hsing University. And then today we're gonna talk about her experience being in Taiwan as an Indian student, and also she was a former Taiwan's fellowship recipient, so that's like a lot of fellowship. And a lot of scholarship as well from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We call it MOFA, I guess. Yeah. So let's welcome Sadia.
Hi. So, do you want me to start by introducing myself, or you want?
Sure, you can go ahead.
Okay, so thank you for introducing me, but let me do that again. My name is Sadia Rahman. You can just call me Sadia because it's sometimes difficult to pronounce as Rahman for some people. So to make it easier, you can just call me Sadia. And I was a Taiwan fellowship recipient that is awarded by Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Taiwan government. But right now, as you mentioned, the scholarships and all, this scholarship is given by Ministry of Education, Taiwan government. So two different things. And currently I'm a PhD candidate, not a student right now, because I qualified my PhD qualifier exam. I passed my proposal defense. So I am on the phase of like writing my thesis. But before that, I have to do a bigger task of collecting my primary data, which is again kept on a hold because of COVID-19. So let's see, yeah, when can I do that? When can I not do that? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Sadia, what do you study and what are you working on?
Okay, so I my specialization includes international relations, of course, theories, but I'm into Chinese studies, China studies, if you can say that. I study Chinese politics, Chinese foreign policy, and Chinese ethnic minority policies. So more into non-traditional security issues. And I will be working, or my thesis will be on Xinjiang. So it's on China's second generation ethnic minority policies. So yeah, that's
Very
a
interesting. Yeah. Before you came to Taiwan, did you know like Taiwan and China there are a lot of differences?
I did know that because I was doing MPhil, okay, when I came to Taiwan. So that time also I was doing China studies, and it was my professor back in Mumbai when I was doing my MPhil. He told me about this fellowship and scholarship in Taiwan, and but I was into China studies, so I was in a dilemma. What should I do? Should I go for China? Should I go for Taiwan? But I definitely knew one thing, that if I go to China, that would be a little difficult for me. As you know, the political system there, the setup there. So the next, but the great option for me was Taiwan. And that's how he shared with me the idea of applying to Taiwan fellowship recipient. But I was quite young that time, and I was not even a PhD student. And this fellowship is for like PhD students, associate professors, and professors higher designation. So I did not know whether I will get into this or not, but still I wanted to give it a try, and he encouraged me. So I applied for this fellowship, and I was fortunate enough to get this, in 2017. And that's how my journey started to come to Taiwan. I came here for 3 months at Chongqing only, NCHU. And then I was glad again that I like this country so much. And I felt like this is the country where I should continue my China studies. This is the apt because of sources and language and many other things. You can have expert advice as well. So then I thought, okay, let me try for scholarship. So I got into the scholarship detail, got the scholarship, and I continue my PhD. Yeah.
Awesome. Wow. So did you say that you got your Taiwan's fellowship and Taiwan scholarship all together under your doctoral studies?
No, no, no. It wasn't like this. Okay, let me just break it down. Okay,
Sure.
it was like in 2000, I applied for Taiwan fellowship recipient in 2016, and I got selected for that in 2017, and I started my journey as a Taiwan fellowship recipient from January until March. So the fellowship is for 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. I opted for 3 months because I was doing MPhil that time and I had to go back to Mumbai to finish that. So I came here to Taiwan at Chongqing. Professor Moomin Chen, he hosted me, okay? So I did my research, wrote an article, submitted to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And meanwhile, Professor Moomin Chen, he shared with me that there is an opportunity to also apply for Ministry of Education scholarship. So if you would like to continue your studies, you can go for that. So, and it was actually the same time that Taiwan universities take out or take admissions and you get admitted, right? February or March, that time. So the scholarship also comes during that time. So for me, it was like I was in Taiwan and I applied for the scholarship, that time. And I was also the fellowship recipient that time, but I could apply for the scholarship because I could only get enrolled in September, the fall semester. So I had the chance. I gave my IELTS exam in Taiwan, and I did all my paperwork, etc., whatever was needed, and went back, came back again. I remember I got selected for Taiwan scholarship in June or July and did all the procedures and came back again in September as a student, PhD student. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a very smooth process. You kind of got ahead of that process because you were already in Taiwan.
Fortunately for me, it was a smooth process,
Hmm.
unlike many other people. But
Yeah.
yeah, for me, it just felt like ta ta ta, like one step, one step, one step, and it was happening like that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
quite,
I have a few things to just to add for the listeners. Taiwan
yeah.
Scholarship and Taiwan Fellowship is open for all international scholars. So if you're interested, you can definitely find it online. I'll also link the information and the name in the episode notes. So if you want to find it out, you can definitely find it in the episode notes. And also, previously, I had a guest called Manu, who is also a Taiwan scholarship recipient, and he's still in Taiwan. So if listeners, you want to hear about his stories, he's also an Indian student, so give it a try. And Sadia, I heard that you mentioned Chen 老师 Mu Ming,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I know that he has been sent by the government to Delhi, I think, as a
Yeah.
diplomat, right?
Yeah. Deputy Foreign Minister, as I remember correctly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so if people are looking for him, I can also link the name to Chen 老师,
Yeah.
Professor Chen.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Very, very nice.
he has a very big heart for India,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
passion. So shout out for Chen Laozi because I worked with him a few for a little time after I came back from India. So
Shout out from my side as well.
yeah,
Very kind professor, very nice professor,
you
very
should
helpful.
probably send this episode to him.
I will
Yeah,
ask you to please listen to this. Yeah, definitely.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
should.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I hope he's doing well in Delhi because I know India is the second country. So I'm in the US and now the cases are rampant. I know India is second in that ranking.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, because of COVID cases.
But yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking because you said that you studied in Mumbai. So where is home for you?
Okay, this is interesting. I am born and brought up in Calcutta, which is
Mm-hmm.
now known as Kolkata. So I belong to east part of India, right? So my schooling and my like post graduation all happened in Kolkata, but I needed a change, and I wanted to, explore more because India is a very big country. I was just, with my parents until my post graduation. So I asked them, so can I just travel to another city for my higher studies? So they were like, okay, you can do it, but they were more into travel to south of India or west of India. So it was like that. So I was okay with Mumbai. Mumbai is a great city, and I tried for University of Mumbai. I got into that to do my MPhil, and I stayed there for 2 years. And believe me, I love Mumbai. I am in so love with Mumbai. Everything. I have great friends there, awesome friends, awesome hostel life, great food, great memories I have from Mumbai. Really, really, yeah.
Do
It's
people
fun.
hate Mumbai? Or why do you say that you particularly love Mumbai? Is it like a love or hate sentiment toward Mumbai?
It's just love, love, love sentiments for me for Mumbai. Really, I have great friends. My supervisor, like who I was working for MPhil,
Yeah.
he's a great supervisor. Uh, I learned a lot from him, when I
Mhm.
was doing that, and I would rather say again that I'm blessed to have great supervisors, be it for masters, MPhil, or PhD. So for MPhil also, he was so encouraging, and one interesting fact was like when I was selected for fellowship and scholarship, etc., it was he who probably, convinced, not convinced, but talked to my father, saying that she has a great opportunity, and you can look and send her out abroad for higher studies for her bright future. So in that sense, I say that I'm fortunate to have kind, great supervisors who just encourage students a lot. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. It sounds like you have a lot of support from family and from academia. So I'm interested to know, like, are there any shocks for you when you first arrived in Taiwan?
Oh yeah, definitely. Why not?
What are
Definitely.
the points that you can share with us?
Uh, food, 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 food.
What
Most of us,
happened to the food? Share with us.
you know, let me tell you, when I first came here, I did not know how to use chopsticks. I had no idea. So that was a challenge for me because when I saw people just using two sticks and doing something with fingers and just pick up the rice and food, and I was like, how do they do that? I can't do that. It's so difficult. How do you lift, like, pick up chicken with that or meat with that stuff, right? So that was a challenge. How do I do that? How do I practice that? Of course, it took like for me months to get over that, and I would not say a pro, but definitely like a convenient part for me to just go with that. So I did that. But hot pot is a cultural shock for me. Believe me, as an Indian, I can say that, because you know how Indian food, like it's all spicy with vegetables and meat. So, but we cook it all separately, not together, right? But this concept of hot pot to me was wow. How do you put all the things together, boil it, and put it? But it tastes delicious.
Yeah.
Some are really delicious with
Hmm.
different varieties of soup in Taiwan. But first couple of months for me, like, oh God, how do I get over this and how do I like get used to this? But now I am okay, but that was the biggest cultural shock for me,
Mm.
putting all the food together. I've never seen this in India, to be very
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
uh, to my hometown Kolkata, we are like into so much of spicy food and street
Hmm.
food and fish and uh, whatnot, potatoes and this and that. So we cook all the things very separately, not all together, and it's all with spices.
Yeah.
But here was a little different, so that was a shock for me. Yeah,
I guess it's also a kind of food that you cannot use your fingers to eat.
that is what I mentioned earlier, that chopsticks, because
Yeah.
we are used to fingers, right?
Hmm.
So I used to wonder, like, how do you pick up chicken or beef or something meat with that? I'm used to using my fingers so that I can enjoy the meat, right? And even for that matter, rice, because in India we don't have sticky rice, so it's all the game of fingers. How do we eat food? So wow, when I see using chopsticks and lifting it and eating that is like great, amazing. At first I was in awe, saying people use chopsticks really awesome way, but I can't do that. So it took me months to become a not pro, but okay. I can use
Yeah.
it convenient way now. Yeah.
Yeah, you can survive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
besides food, are people in any way shock you, or the culture, the language?
Okay, let me tell you about the people. People are really warm in Taiwan, really, really friendly, really warm. Uh, Starting from my journey 2017, I made great Taiwanese friends who helped me to find apartments and invited me for food, lunch, dinner, whatever it was. And the process becomes easier because as you have friends helping you around. So that was like a kind of a treat for me, if I could say that, because I managed to do everything because of their guidance. So if I have any problem and I don't understand the language and I had to call the landlord or pay my rent, etc., it was my Taiwanese friends who used to come up. If one is not available, the other one was definitely available. So that's how we managed. And then they call you for like hiking and those special moments, Taiwanese New Year or Moon Festival, etc., etc. So yeah, that was fun to have Taiwanese friends. I still have now, and they make life really, really simple and easier here when you have warm Taiwanese friends. Yeah. Yeah.
And you mentioned the people are great for you. Is there any other things that you enjoy?
Yes, I do. Let me tell or put it in this way. Like initially it was the cultural activities which was organized by Chongqing NCHU. So we have great team of Office of International Affairs. They organize a lot of cultural activities and sightseeing and tours. So I have attended many, so one was like attending making tea making or something with bubble tea, or we went to Lugang and saw traditional places, all those things. So yeah, but currently what is my favorite is to improve and brush up my Chinese. So let me put in this way again. I have taken training for learning Mandarin, like level 1 and level 2 in Chongqing Language Center. Okay. But then because of PhD work, I could not give so much of time as the course is very intensive, and the classes happens every day, 9 to 12. So I thought of an idea that let's do one thing. Let's ask my Taiwanese friends, one friend, to just teach me Mandarin. So this is the current phase that I'm enjoying right now. That we have classes, like a dinner session where she teach me conversation, practical Chinese, and many other vocabulary, so that I can, speak Chinese. My listening is very better, much better, but my speaking is not that great. So she helps me to have conversation and practical Chinese learning. So this is currently what I am enjoying right now. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Wow. It sounds like your life is like very fruitful in Taiwan.
It is, yeah. It is busy but very fruitful. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yes, yeah.
Cool. And I was just wondering, in terms of hosting international students in Taiwan, what is the things that your college or the university is doing well? I know that you have already mentioned that the hosted events and they bring you to some trips and all that. What
Yeah.
else do you think that Taiwan is doing well to host international students?
Okay. This is like, we have. Okay. When I came here, NCHU or Chongqing
Mm-hmm.
organized, they have something called buddy program.
Mm,
So for that, you can make friends, get familiar to many people. It could be Taiwanese, it could be international students as well. So that's one thing where you don't, freak out because you get to know people. You're not strangers. You meet strangers, but you're not isolated. I mean, in that way, you're not lonely. You make friends. So uh, that could be one way that like Chongqing is helping students. Okay. Cultural festivals and programs and outings is another aspect where international students are taken care well of. They also organize, as I remember, every year, International Students' Day parade, where we dress up our native clothes, cultural clothes, ethnic clothes, if you can say that, and we do a long parade on the running track of Chongqing, and after that, since last year it was the 100th year of Chongqing, so they threw a grand party for that, and so many things they keep doing it to make us feel homely, and cultural sharing is one aspect which Chongqing does every time, maybe like not on a large scale but definitely in a close knit circle where they organize some like cuisine party related to one country, specific country. So recently they did Sri Lankan cuisine party, I remember, and uh, some cultural sharing event happened also. So it is like, you get the chance to explore different cultures, meet different people in that activity, and they also celebrated a Diwali Indian festival. Yes, I remember that, and we did that, and Christmas also. So yeah, it's like not one thing, there are many things actually happening to make you feel homely. And if you talk about how does the information spread, like how they attract international students to Chongqing, it is like, of course they go attend many fairs, international fairs, right? So they, if I can say, publish or talk about Chongqing activities and how great the university is. So, in that sense, they attract a lot of international students. And mind you, Chongqing has very great infrastructural facilities, lab facilities. I can say that because I have great friends from science department, and they tell me that the lab facilities are really, really upgraded, which they don't have in their own country. So this is one of the factors for the science people that they share to their own friends back home country, and that's how the link grows up and people apply. Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. I actually went to Zhongxing as well for my bachelor degree.
yeah, yeah.
I would say Zhongxing is really famous for if students want to be a vet, so that
Uh-huh.
like the veterinarian hospital and all that, it's very
Mm-hmm.
professional, and they're famous for their agricultural college. So if it's biology or biotech or what are the other ones? It's like animal science, that kind of
Animal
thing.
science,
Yeah.
they have material science, they have physics department, chemical
Mm,
chemistry, so many. My friends, they tell me that the lab facilities are that much that they just need to work. Of course, you need, since you're a science student, you have to do experiments and give your
yeah.
inputs and hard work, a lot of that,
Mm-hmm.
but which is supported by the lab facilities they have in
Yeah.
the lab. So
Yeah.
that makes them, do their research work quite great. Like the
Mm.
social science people, like you, I don't know, you studied social science in Chongqing?
I was in foreign languages and literatures.
Okay, so
Yeah.
for like science people, social sciences people, we do not have labs or something like that. We just have
Mm.
study rooms, so you have to research, do it by yourself, take guidance from your professors and supervisor, of course.
Yeah.
But it's like you are on your own for social science, right?
Yeah.
Unlike
Yeah.
the science students who do a lot of dedicated, hard lab work. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And if students want to study forestry, entomology is like the studies of insects.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Um,
what.
I think Zhongxing is a really great place to go. But
Yeah,
on
yeah.
top of that, we talked about like what your college or university has been doing well with. Do you think there's anything that can be improved, like from your personal experience?
Of course, of
Mhm.
course.
You're
Okay,
laughing. Why?
okay. From my point of view, probably more of English taught courses is a necessity. It's a requirement. Uh, we we do not have much international students, if I say, in my department, because we don't have so much of English taught courses. So if you open up and have probably, or open the program and make it more international, in the sense like include more English taught courses, then we can grow bigger and more international. And this goes for other departments as well, that it restricts and it limits students with options when you do not have the English taught program, and you have the international students. So they come in a dilemma that which subject or which course to choose for your credits. And sometimes you don't have an option but to choose the Chinese course. So it would be great if we have more English courses and
Yeah,
programs.
absolutely. I was just thinking like if you guys are in social sciences or humanities
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys have to do it in Mandarin,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be super, super hard.
But let me tell you again the my fortunate story that
Mhm.
in my department, the professors are really nice. It's a social science department, and pure Mandarin, if they speak, we cannot understand anything, right? An academic Mandarin would be like, boom, we can't understand anything, instead of the like normal conversation Chinese. So they teach in like they teach bilingually. If they have foreign students for that particular course, they make it bilingual. So we don't I did not face any difficulty, and there are many other, quite a few, like other international students in my department. They don't face any difficulty because they teach bilingually. So yeah, but I don't know this is the case with the rest of the departments or not. This is just my department case. Yeah.
It's a great news to hear
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
didn't know that they were teaching it as a bilingual method. I didn't even know that was an option. So
they
for
are.
sure they're making their efforts. Before we
Wow.
jump into a next question, do you have anything to add for those people who are interested in studying Taiwan?
Yeah, of course. It's a great place. Please come in. Warm, warm, warm people. Great food. Of course, initially you will get a shock, cultural shock with food, but then great food. They have great 牛肉面, shui qiao, what chow fan. So I like all of those. Those are my favorite. And if you're a science student, definitely try and come to Taiwan because of lab facilities and infrastructure. For social sciences, I did not encounter much of the students studying social sciences. So I would direct again, encourage my friends back in India to think and come to Taiwan, because my department has really great professors to study social science. And if you are interested in it, you can apply for that. And for that matter, even not even my department, NTU and NCCU also is very good in international relations. So they can think of it and come to Taiwan. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I heard. So if anyone's interested in going to my hometown in Kaohsiung in the south,
Okay.
I heard NSYSU, Sun University, also had very good programs focusing on international relations in Southeast Asia. So if students are in that area, maybe there could be some collaborations and opportunities to apply.
Maybe. Thank you for
Yeah.
suggesting, but I haven't been there. But yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So, Sadia, what are your plans moving forward? I know that you're working on your dissertation. What next?
I am not working. I mean, I have just
You're
started.
not working. How are you gathering your data?
That's the difficult part. Let me tell you again that I am supposed to travel to Turkey to collect my data. Okay, and I already have my visa. I was supposed to travel 2021 January but again COVID. I don't know what will happen again. It's such a dilemma that whether I will be able to travel in January. So I will postpone and see that I could travel in February. And it all depends like what primary data I can get from Turkey. And much depends on like my main chapters, depends on my primary sources. So I could say that I could write some few particular chapters, but the entire thesis depends on my primary data. So
Mm,
I
what are
don't
you
know.
looking for? We're putting this as a public media, right? So, what are you actually looking for? Maybe if listeners could link you up with some people.
So I have plans to interview Uyghur people.
Mm-hmm.
in Turkey,
Yeah.
and talk to them about the current Chinese policies, ethnic minority policies.
Mm,
I also have some plans to get some literary sources like in like other languages. I have in Mandarin, I have in English, but I also need in the Turkic language. So those are my primary concerns, which definitely will be, I don't know whether I would be able to get through or get past that if I don't have my data. So
yeah.
so I don't know if I can say that I'm doing or writing my thesis. I'm not saying that. Yeah, it's reading phase. It's a draft, like I'm drafting it, but how long does it take? I have no idea right now. Yeah.
Got it. So if listeners, you know any Uyghurs, or you can uh link Sadia to any, any communities related to her studies, feel free to shoot her a message.
But I do know a Uyghur professor in Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, if I am going to Turkey, he will be hosting me, and
Got it.
he will be helping me to a lot of data collection.
Mm,
It's like I have to go, and it
yeah.
depends on that. So if I go, I would be like in safe hands, and I can start with my thesis. It's like that. Yeah.
Got it. Wow. I wish you all the best for your studies
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
your dissertation. Wow. Do you plan to stay in Taiwan or go to another country after you graduate, become a doctor?
Wow, wow. Okay. I'm very flexible, it depends on what kind of opportunities I get once I graduate. So I would love to stay in Taiwan. And if I manage to find a job in Taiwan, I will definitely teach here because I want to teach. I want to join universities and become a professor, any of the universities in Taiwan or abroad. That's okay. And if I get an opportunity abroad, that's also like welcomed. If I get an opportunity, a great, chance back in my home country, India, I would do that also. I'll take that up. So it depends where I actually land up, what opportunities I get. But I will definitely try first looking something in Taiwan. If I can manage to find a job in one of the universities in Taiwan, I will do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. If you work in universities or colleges who are interested in hiring Sadia, all right, Sadia, how can people find you?
um, Facebook,
Sure.
Instagram,
Yeah.
those are like social media handles, right?
Okay.
Uh, so that would be great. No problem. Yeah.
Sure. I'll
Yeah.
put your details in the episode notes. So, listeners, if you're interested
Yeah.
in connecting with Sadia, please read the notes.
Yeah. I could even give you or share my email ID. That's also
Sure.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely, I'll put it
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, Sadia, for coming to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, for inviting me, and for hearing me out my story, which is like, uh, I don't know, too much or too not. But as you said, I am blessed and fortunate enough to have really great people in life, be it my family, be it my professor, supervisor, whosoever. They are
Mm,
very supporting, very kind, and I really, really appreciate the fact that they encourage students so much. Thank you.
cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to Try with Ping. If you think someone will benefit from this episode, don't forget to share with them. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. If you like my show, you can buy me a chai with small gifts. Details are in the episode notes. Till next time!